Hello everyone. Good afternoon. At nandito po tayo ngayon. We are back to our sunset moments and hope everyone is doing good and healthy. We hope that the weather is good for you unless Philippines. They said Philippines has more than 40 degrees Celsius. But here in Japan, in Nagano, we have 16 degrees Celsius. So it's quite good. Only it's windy, but it was nice. No? My laundry is already good. I have folded my laundry and ayun. Na? I just put it aside na rin dito. Na? By the way, we have a visitor kanina from the City Hall and we tried to entertain him to the best of our ability. You know, I'm a foreigner and I cannot really speak fully in Japanese. Kaya I tried to really make it. Now let's try to talk about bridging the gap. As I have mentioned, I am a Filipino and I'm here in Japan. We have a visitor and he speaks in Japanese. And this is it. I'm from the Philippines and we have our own culture, we have our own language, we have our own food, the way and system about transportation and the like. And when I got married, blessed to my wife, a Japanese, we have our children in the Philippines, 5 of them. They were all made in the Philippines, born in the Philippines. But when we migrated here way back 2005, then we were here. And so with me, I have to adjust. I have to adjust everything. My food, the culture, the atmosphere, the climate. This is one of my struggles talaga, particularly the winter time. And that time that seasons are changing. Marami mga rashes, but mostly talagang I got a severe na talagang hindi ko makaya-kaya yung winter. And every time, every day, my rhinitis is triggered by this below 0 degree Celsius. Kaya I really struggle a lot during winter time. But it's so nice this time. Flowers are blooming, although cherry blossoms are already down, but tulips and other very beautiful flowers are in the surroundings. I think yesterday it was a holiday here. I'm not so sure if it was the day of decorations, the green trees. I was not so sure if what was that. But most of the time, there are, no, during this time, I should say, marami mga tourists and they tour around the parks, and there are very beautiful parks with decorations, decors with flowers and set in different shapes. No? Mayroong mga pinalutang-lutang na mga roses or whatever kinds of flowers. And then it was all really and filed, straightened into the streets, along the streets, and all tourists can be there, have pictures with that. Even the walls are full of beautiful, colorful flowers. So this is springtime. But again, walang ganun sa Philippines, na? Tropical ang Philippines and we really have to bridge the gap. So foods, to me, there's no so much struggle between the foods, or yes, I can take natto. It's I don't know, but it's a fermented beans and salted and sticky. And I have not seen like that in the Philippines. But, meron tayong bagoong ginamos, pero sila dito wala silang mga ginamos, no? Mga talagang galing sa Philippines, mga imported na galing sa ibang bansa. Na. But one thing is the transportation also. We don't have jeepneys here. There are taxi, but you really have to call them, parang Uber, na talagang kailangan mo. Walang private na sasakyan dito, na but instead it's along the highway that there's a bus stop, na particular bus stop and schedules when they will arrive and when they will leave. It's just a matter of a minute or two that the bus will stop. Maybe passengers will go out, and the new ones will get in, and then boom, the bus will go. And if you're late, you have to watch for another schedule. Maybe 10-15 minutes again. So you are not free to really go anywhere. But most of the Japanese, maybe 98-99% of the Japanese people have their own cars. Excuse me. Matitrigger na naman natin itong rhinitis ko. Please don't trigger my nose. I went out and tried to take the laundry in, fold it. Kaya just for a few minutes na lumabas ako, talagang na-trigger na naman ata. But one thing also, it's about the culture. The culture and also the language. Because we know that in our history, past is past, but there are many struggles and pains that the Philippines suffered a lot from the Japanese soldiers or government during the occupation period. But that's it. No? Though it was painful, we cannot do anything more about it. But one thing is how we can indemnify or make a good bridge, strong bridge between the two countries. One is understanding. Understanding. Communication is very, very important, but communication does not only refer to language. Culture, traditions, and even tourism. Traditions can also bridge the gap. Sports, it bridges the gap. Even religions or faith could bridge the gap. Education, yes, the Japanese people do not know English. Well, they study English for the sake of passing the subject in the schools. But it's not learning. What I'm pointing is they're not applying it. They're just trying to pass the test. That's why they have to study English. But learning is different, that they can really apply those things that they are studying. This is my point. So, Japan needs Filipinos. And also Filipinos need Japan. Just like yesterday, the Prime Minister Ishiba of Japan went to the Philippines, and President Marcos of the Philippines entertained him, and they talk about some issues, economic, security, and the like. Maybe also about economy. More particularly that almost American products are very high now because of the tariffs increase implemented by President Trump. So other nations have to go and look for other products from different countries and where they can export their products. So this kind of areas, in this kind of areas, two nations can bridge. So, education, yes. I left Philippines. I was a professor before. And when we migrate here, I still teach here. And when I tried to look on, well, I taught mathematics and physics in the Philippines, but here I cannot teach, no, because they're taking nuclear physics. Their subjects are very, very advanced already. When I tried to take a look on the curriculum and their syllabus, wow, quantum physics, nuclear physics. No? And it's not, those are not common in our curriculum in the Philippines. So what could I teach? When I tried to look around, English. They do not understand English. They don't know English, and they have to learn English. And that's the point where I can bridge the two countries. Well, Japan has a bottleneck in terms of human resources. That's also one area where Philippines and Japan can bridge the gap. We have many human resources, manpower, and we can also export our human resources. It's not human trafficking, but it's OFW. We have the OWA, POEA, the Department of Labor. Oh, by the way, tomorrow will be Labor's Day. And we hope everyone is good and sound with their employment, the good salaries, and the benefits of the laborers and the employees. I hope the management, the companies, corporations are taking a look also on the side of loving their employees and laborers. So again, there are two endpoints that we have to bridge. But I'd like also to emphasize the Filipino culture about family upbringing. Filipinos are very hospitable, even though we suffered a lot with the calamities, typhoons and earthquakes, storms, etc. But still, we can afford to smile, even though we are there, with our waist level, with the waist level floods. Still, we can go on and keep trying with. Trying our best to really be good and confront happily what was going on. But in here, well, one thing is in the family culture here, traditions here in Japan, it's quite different because they have this a kind of holiday for the age of the day of the coming new age. That's a holiday for them. And it points that once you are 20 years old, you are free from your parents. You are already independent from the parents. And so, you have to have your own apartment, your own address. You have to take your own way of life. So, kumbaga, wala nang hold ang mga parents mo sa'yo. But in the Philippines, it's difficult. It's very different and, even in our life of faith, most of the entire family go and join the Mass during Sunday services. And we practice also Christmas and birthdays, holidays, saints, and fiesta. And it this upbring families to a closer relationship. And that's one point in terms of spiritual, moral aspects, traditions, and culture. And here in Japan, it's not that strong. Being with a church, if you are trying to integrate yourself to the church, good if you are a kind of spiritually, religiously oriented person. I'm not, I mean, I struggle a lot with the Nihongo, but I got knowing that, I have a chance knowing that there's a Catholic church in here, and the Baptist church, and the Unification Church. And there are also people like the Seventh-day Adventists knocking on the door, no, clinging on the doorbell, and when I tried to entertain them, they are witnessing for their church. And as a religious-oriented person, I tried to somehow entertain them. But they're not just Japanese; they're also, no, foreigners with them. So talking more about this religious freedom, then Japan has to open their hearts and mind, no, to also know what are the benefits, what are the good things between or among within, no, the church. What can they get within the church? There is a familial dimension that brings all together the members of the family to be really one family, close bonding between and among the members of the families. And family to families, like a federation of many families, then we build a very beautiful extended families in one community. And we are free from any political or whatever. We have our freedom of religion, expression, or what. No? But in terms of moral values, ethical values, and other life values, we also can understand each other. And we have to, through these organizations, these religions or faiths, and we have to have the freedom of expressions. And Japan should know more about this. I mean, should open their hearts, their minds about these things. Why can Filipinos have many beautiful children? Because they have a very loving personality. They have a closer bond between the husband and wife and among the children. Why a bottleneck population here in Japan? Because of the differences and the theme that they just want to live in order to work. Live for work. But in the Philippines, we work in order to live. We even live, Philippines be in an OFW so that we can live or we can work in order to live. And these are two different things. And again, we need to bridge the gap. We need to bridge the gap. And that's it. We have to open our minds not only on politics, security, military, or trade, but we also need to open our hearts, our mind in terms of education, religions, expressions. So both sides, both in endpoints, must really collaborate, integrate, and understand each other. This is one point, my dear friends, my brothers and sisters, my colleagues in the educational sector, in the spiritual religious sector, and I hope we understand each other here. Thank you very much. This is Sir Kutailo in our Sunset Moments. Good afternoon.